Hi everybody and welcome to my Ignite presentation for EDC 534. It's called Digital Authorship Unit and it's not completely done yet, but this is a preview so it's still subject to change. So this is a 7-lesson elementary unit plan that focuses on authorship, producing with digital tools, and copyright, and etc., concepts like that. And the ultimate goal is for students to broaden their definitions of authorship and text and start to realize the digital world is only limited by their own creativity. And I chose to do this because I don't see it happening in schools. And even when technology is used in elementary grades, it's for test taking or presenting. So I wanted to give students a chance to develop new literacies that come with composing and making meaning in digital formats. And I chose to base it off critical literacy. So we want to encourage students to question the author and take action. So this diagram kind of focuses on where I'm coming from with designing this unit. So similar studies that address this would be Hobbs, Vasudevan et al. And Willett. And even though they don't directly deal with issues such as copyright or synthesis, they do allow students to develop new literacies and engage in digital formats that they don't usually engage with. So I specifically designed this unit to go along with anchor standards so the lessons could easily be adapted to grade levels. And these are just a list of all of the anchor standards that are linked to the website. So the context of this lesson, it's designed to be adaptable to grade levels, areas, and levels of technology, but it was designed with an ideal environment in mind where there is access to multiple forms of tech and programs, but I very rarely specify it, but the use of a smartboard or a projector is recommended. So students will also have a KidBlog account, and they're going to be able to put all of their classwork and evidence in there, and it can be accessed from anywhere. So at the end of the unit, students will have a portfolio of all that they have learned that other students can go and look at other kids' work. So the overall unit setup is every lesson begins with an essential question that students reflect on in some form, and the questions are going to be posted around the room to refer to, and the concept's generally going to be explained before moving on to the activity part of the unit. So the engagement part is when students are actually doing the activity either independently or collaboratively. They don't all require technology, but students have to put evidence of the activity on their blog post, and essentially all the lessons revolve around a gradual release model like with this diagram here. So in the end of every unit, students are going to write a reflection on their blog, and then collaboratively the class is going to come up with a short statement or big idea to post around the room so that all 7 big ideas will be posted by the end of the unit. And some lessons are going to take more than one day, but it's up to the teacher to figure out how much time to provide for independent work. So students are also going to have a culminating project that they're going to be working on that addresses aspects discussed in class, and it's going to be addressing some issue, but the level of control for grading and creativity and interest is up to the teacher. So essentially lesson 1, the essential question is what is authorship? And students are going to be reflecting and redefining on what author and text mean, and they're going to be doing this with Poplet and analyzing different media forms. Lesson 2 is going to be about what tools authors use to compose, and students are just going to be learning about the variety of mediums that authors can use and get a feel and play with all the tech and the strength and limitations. So these are just examples of a lot of different technologies that may be used in lessons such as these. So the third question has 3 parts, and it's what do authors need to take into account when composing? And the first lesson deals with purpose and audience, and they're going to be creating a marketing poster based on some sort of message. The second part of this question has to do with representation and how audience and opinions may impact student work. So students are going to be creating their own Leap 3 like we did in this class, but it's going to be scaled down, and they're going to be doing it in groups. Lesson 5 has to do with copyright and fair use, and students are going to be analyzing scenarios based on whether or not it's considered fair use, and there also is probably going to be some sort of Jeopardy copyright quiz game that I'm going to throw in there. Lesson 6 essential question is how do we get the information that creates our message? And this is really about researching and evaluating information. So students are first going to evaluate websites for relevance and reliability, and then they're going to start researching their own topic with note cards. So this will take a couple of lessons. And finally, students, the last question is how do we create the message? And this is basically synthesizing it and actually doing the creation of making their media. So students are going to be filling out a graphic organizer and then creating. So they'll be working on it and then we'll present when the teacher feels appropriate. And any questions you have, you can shoot me a tweet or check out the full post on my blog. But I hope I covered anything, and thanks for watching.